Hi everyone. The purpose of this video is to explain your major assignment for this course, the evaluation of a curriculum program. This is a group assignment. The groups were already created, so make sure to go and check who your group members are. And very important is to start communicating with your group members right away. I will need proof of collaboration since the first week or second week of class from all of you, because I want to make sure that everyone participates and everybody does their job. And I would not like for some to wait until the last minute. So besides that, the purpose of the assignment is to select a program or a curriculum and to develop an evaluation plan for this program with also a possible implementation of a treatment or a plan based on the results of the evaluation in order to make the program successful. So you can decide as a group which program you would like to work on to evaluate. So talk amongst each other. You can send me an email, talking about the program that you would like to evaluate, and then we can discuss it and go from there. But some examples of programs could be the iReady reading and math program. It can be an adoption that textbook adoption that was adopted by your school. It can be the STAR program. It can be any program that is used in your school. If you don't work at a school, somebody from your group will be a teacher, is a teacher. So maybe, don't panic. You can choose and you can select together what program you would like to work on. Once you have developed the program, you will need access to this data. So make sure that before you select a program, you also do the research. So do I have access to the data at the school about this program? So if I decide to use the iReady program, do I have access to the whole school of the data? Okay, the diagnostic, the pre-assessment that they do at the beginning of the year. Do I have data? Probably you have data from previous years. You can use that data as well. And so you also need to find out goals, the implementation, how it was implemented. You will have to interview several stakeholders and, in the program, somebody who makes decisions, either staff, community members that might be affected by the program. You can also interview some of the parents if they are considered stakeholders, depending on what program it is. So your final product should be a 10 to 15 page paper that contains an evaluation plan. So you will provide some background about the program. So a program description, what are the implications, educational implications about the program, and also the needs, a brief synthesis of the lit review. Who are the stakeholders, so identify those. What kind of program model are you going to use? An evaluation goal statement. What are you planning on achieving by conducting this evaluation? So this is going to take you to what kind of evaluation will I be implemented to conduct this evaluation. Usually in education, an objective-oriented evaluation is implemented, but not necessarily. There are so many others. Maybe you want to take a look at the expert, the connoisseur evaluation approach. So that is going to be up to you, the type of evaluation approach that you will select and implement. If you would like to schedule a meeting with me, a group meeting where we can discuss, maybe you want to share with me to see if the evaluation approach that your group has decided to implement is the correct one and aligned with it, that's perfectly fine. Please send me an email and we can schedule that. But that's one of the main things that I also want to see. Did you select the right evaluation approach? Then you will have a description of your methodology. What kind of methodology are you using? Your analysis plan, what kind of data are you collecting? What kind of analysis are you going to use? And a description of how you would like to disseminate the results. Then you need to provide a bibliography. So you're going to have like a lit review of, you're going to have about at least five journal citations. And then an appendix containing your survey instrument and or your qualitative interview guide, because those are the ones that you're going to select. Now, this is all broken down in the assignment description, and also it's really broken down into smaller components, so it goes a little bit more in depth. So for example, you're going to have within the evaluation plan, you will talk about the program. Again, you're going to have 2 pages on the program, the community that the program serves, what is the population. You're going to have your lit review on the needs of the program. Why was this program created and why was it implemented? What were the needs? What are the program goals? Why did I use the iReady, for example, to with this population? What was my goal? The program settings. Who are the stakeholders? Describe them. What is your intervention design? And any previous formative assessment or evaluation conducted on the program, if it was done. You can research this also, because especially if you select the iReady, is a very common. You don't have to. You can choose any other. I would love to read evaluations on other programs. Then you will have an evaluation purpose statement. Again, specific goals for this evaluation. It's just a summary to understand exactly what information this evaluation will provide to the community and how is that information is going to be used. Think about who might want to read my evaluation, and which one is the community or the stakeholders that this evaluation might be really useful to. Then you will have a 2-3 page report summarizing the results of your interviews with the 2 stakeholders of your program. It can be a policymaker, an administrator. You can have teachers, parents, the communities, your principals, somebody who decided to adopt this program and implement it. Then you will include a logic model. So in your in the description of this assignment, there is when you see the requirement to include a logic model, you're also going to see a link which is linked to a PowerPoint on logic, that explains what a logic model is. So you can click on it and open it. And what a logic model is, I would recommend you to read the whole PowerPoint, that all the members of the group. That way you can really have a good idea of what it is and how to develop it together as a group. So make sure you discuss it together. What's a logic model? A logic model is a depiction of a program showing that what the program will do and to accomplish. So it's basically, it includes inputs, outputs, and outcomes. So the inputs and outputs are, I can explain them in a very easy way. The inputs are, what do we have available? What resources do we have in order to complete, to implement this program? So, for example, in a parent education program, a logic model would include staff, partners, money, funds, research, as inputs, as resources. Okay, so what are the outputs? Outputs are the actions. So inputs are resources, outputs are the actions. So what are we going to do with these resources? Well, we're going to assess the parents of the program. We're going to design and deliver evidence-based programs of 8 sessions to parents of 3 to 10-year-olds who, of course, have to attend. That's another action. And then we are going to facilitate support groups. So those are the actions, those are the outputs that we're going to implement with the inputs, the resources that we have. And then the last part of the logic model is the outcomes. So what are our outcomes? Okay, what do we want? What are our goals and objectives? So in this case, in this example, the outcomes might be parents increase knowledge of child development. They better understand their own parenting style. They gain skills in the new way to parent. And they also gain confidence on their abilities to parent. So they also identify appropriate actions to take and effective parenting practices. So as a consequence, as long-term outcomes, we have reduced stress and better improved child-parent relationships. Okay, there's also this slide in the PowerPoint. This example is in the PowerPoint, the logic model PowerPoint that is available to you, so you can review it. And the situation for this evaluation for this logic model was that during a county needs assessment, the majority of parents reporting that they were having difficulty parenting and felt stressed as a result. So pay attention to what is the situation. Why do you need this program? What are your inputs, your resources? What are your outputs? What are you gonna do? What are your actions? What are you gonna do with those resources? And what are your outcomes? Short and long-term outcomes. Okay, so this is the logic model. Then you're going to provide secondary data that is relevant to the program that you selected. So for example, you can search them online. Secondary data is basically data that you find online and is reliable on a specific program. And for example, if you decide to do your program evaluation on the iReady, you're gonna search online secondary data that was already done on this program by other people, other researchers, review that data set online, and then provide a summary of 2 variables from that data set that might be used to provide long-term outcome data on your program's impact. Okay? Then you're going to have to develop a survey instrument. So a 10-item closed-ended survey included appropriate demographic items that is relevant to your evaluation plan. Then you will provide also your interview questions, including prompts, probes that is relevant. So you're gonna have to interview 2 stakeholders, and they're gonna also take the survey. So I would make sure to work together as a group to create the survey instrument, and also to develop the interview questions and prompts and probes for your interviews as a group. Okay? Then you will provide your results, so an analysis of your findings, and then once you know your findings, based on your findings about the implementation, what is your plan of action? What plan of actions can you develop with your team with suggestions for the school or organizations that you just evaluated? Okay, then you can save it as a PDF, and you can upload that in your in Canvas. Thank you.